three. Deep to center field. This ball's crushed. It is another night of Astros baseball from Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, where tonight the Astros wrap up their season schedule against the AL Central. The final game against the Chicago White Sox. White Sox come in 60 wins and 91 losses. The Astros a season best 35 games over at 93 and 58. Despite the recent run by the Astros, having won 6 in a row, they continue to trail the Cleveland Indians, who are 27-1 in their last 28 games. The Astros lead Boston for the number 2 seed in the American League playoffs by 5.5 games. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum to another night of Astros baseball. Blummer, not that long ago, the White Sox were putting a number on the Houston Astros up in Chicago. A chance for a little payback tonight.
Yeah, definitely going towards that home series. The Astros trying to put them in the ringer.
So with that thought right now, with the winning streak going on, not only against the White Sox, but overall, Astros playing good baseball at home, even when they're home in the home away from home.
Yeah, it's good to see these guys playing well at home. We knew early on that they were going to play well on the road. They put up unbelievable numbers, setting records as they went out on that road trip. But it's good to see them turning things around because they are going for that American League best record, which would mean that they would have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But right now, hopefully in that first round in the DS, they will be able to have that home field advantage where they are playing well. The bats are starting to come around. These guys are getting excited. That guy right there, actually, for me, in the month of September, is only hitting 194. So the Astros offense is actually 2 thumbs up, even though they don't have their best player in the middle of the lineup putting up big numbers. So when he gets going, expect this offense to be that much more damaging.
As always this year, contributions 1 through 9 for the Astros, and you saw that whole streak started when the Astros played that neutral site game in St. Petersburg, Florida. Not only is the offense getting it done, the pitching staff and the starters in particular have been very good lately.
Yeah, things are rounding into form, and obviously with the adjustment of adding Justin Verlander to that rotation has made these guys very good. But Brad Peacock has bookended this 6-game streak that these guys are on, qualifying for those wins. The ERA is unbelievable. The Astros offense, in combination with this rotation, is right where you want them to be. It is nice to see them going out and pitching. They're getting minimal leads early on, but they're holding down the fort until that offense gets going in order for them to qualify for those wins. It's been a ton of fun to watch these guys go out and play.
So in Game 7, they will have Dallas Keuchel. In Game 8, Justin Verlander looking to continue that starter streak. The Astros looking for 10 in a row at home as we continue on a Thursday night from Minute Maid Park. Astros baseball on AT HOU Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Getting ready for baseball on this Thursday evening. Dallas Keuchel on the mound at Minute Maid Park, where he has been very good. The White Sox put it to him last time.
Astros going for a sweep over the Chicago White Sox in their final meeting so far in 2017. They're also looking for 7 straight wins and 10 straight wins at their home ballpark. And what better way to start that with left-hander Dallas Keuchel on the mound, who has dominated in front of this home crowd for years now. It's our Shiner Box Spotlight as we take a look at Keuchel's numbers here at Minute Maid Park. Got the 2.26 ERA since 2015, the record of 25-7. Third in club history for wins at this ballpark, too. I got to throw that in there. That's second best, though, what he's done since 2015 to Clayton Kershaw, who obviously likes to pitch at Dodger Stadium with that ERA. And today, facing the White Sox, as I mentioned, he's had a couple of days to look at this team as the Astros have beaten them in Game 1 and Game 2. But it won't be the first time that he's faced the White Sox all season long. August 8th is a day he'd like to forget for sure. It's his worst start of 2017. This was at their place, giving up 8 earned runs in just 4 innings. His shortest outing, but the most hits he gave up and the most earned runs so far this season. So maybe we're in for a bit of a Keuchel's revenge tonight against the White Sox. And let us remind you, this is a healthy Dallas Keuchel than the one that we saw in that last start against the White Sox. But also, he wants to win every single game, just like the rest of these Houston Astros have shown, even after clinching that division title. And Keuchel getting ready for some postseason starts as well. TK.
All right, Julia, as we get ready for baseball tonight, the Astros trying to continue that home winning streak. It's been 9 in a row. It looked overall, including 8 in a row at Minute Maid Park. The home winning streak started with that game in Florida that counted as part of the Astros home games against the Texas Rangers. Those 3 games that were played in St. Petersburg, Florida. Dallas Keuchel on the mound tonight, and that's usually a good thing at home.
It's a very good thing at home. In his career, he is 36-20 with a 2.94, but this season he's 6-2 with a 2.19. The best number is that one on the bottom. He leads Major League Baseball in ground ball percentage. He is sitting at 67.7% of the time getting that ground ball getting the out via the ground ball. And to piggyback on what Julie was talking about, when he got roughed up against those Chicago White Sox, that for me is really one of the games that turned it around for Dallas Keuchel. Not so much a wake-up call, but I think it was the fact that he could go out there and compete after that, knowing that he was healthy after coming off the DL.
He was still ramping up his pitch count at that point. He went from 79 to 87, and then that White Sox start 92. But they did get to him for those 10 hits and 8 runs, as Julia mentioned, in only 4 innings of work, which is a season high. Dallas will face the following lineup. He will try and fare a little better this evening against this lineup. Tim Anderson will lead things off. Yoan Moncada was on all 3 times against Dallas in their first meeting. Jose Abreu, the first baseman, has some pretty good numbers against the lefty Dallas Keuchel. Avisail Garcia hits all lefties. He bats cleanup. Kevin Smith behind the plate. Tyler Saladino is at third base. Willie Garcia is the DH. Reimer Liriano gets a start in left field, and Adam Engel is in center. Defensively behind Dallas Keuchel tonight in left field is Marwin Gonzalez. George Springer playing the field once again after a DH night last night. He's in center. Josh Reddick in right. Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa on the left side of the infield. Jose Altuve and Yuli Gurriel on the right side. And catching Dallas Keuchel, for the most part, it hasn't been exclusive, is Brian McCann. Keuchel against the White Sox tonight. Astros looking for a 3-game sweep and looking to continue this perfect homestand, currently at 5-0. Anderson swings the first pitch and fouls one away. Astros starting the night 35 games over 500. One of just 3 teams in franchise history that has accomplished that mark. Only 2, including the 98 102 win team, have gotten as high as 36 games over 500. Astros also got to 35 over in 1999. Keuchel quickly ahead 0-2. Bregman gloves it, but in foul territory. Anderson starting the night with a batting average of .263. He's riding an 11-game hitting streak. Hitting .440 during that stretch, 22 for 55. Down and in, it's 1-2. .22 for 50 during that stretch, even better. Slowly hit. Bregman has to make a quick transfer, and does, to get Anderson for the first out of this game.
Good pitch by Dallas. We're going to take a look at his pitch usage, brought to you by AT&T. On the left-hand side, his season totals. On the right-hand side, you can see what he did at that last start against the Chicago White Sox when he got roughed up a little bit. You can see he was trying to find it with the curveball and the changeup, trying to mix things up to keep these hitters off balance, but he was leaving a lot of pitches up out over the plate. Sometimes when you leave that off speed in a good hitting position, guys can kind of wind up, get ready for it, barrel it up. And that's what the White Sox did. It's going to be a little bit different this go-round against Dallas Keuchel, who is leading the league as far as staying down in the zone.
Dallas facing Yoan Moncada. He gets a strike at the knees. It's 1-1. He really wears out the bottom part of that plate. And in the process gets a lot of ground ball outs. Ball is hooking, foul. Ball and 2 strikes. Last game he started against the Mariners, 12 of his first 15 outs were ground ball outs. Part of Keuchel's corner over there, catching a foul ball.
Keuchel's corner hats? It's the first time I've seen that.
That's new.
It is.
Breaking out the Keuchel corner hats on the final start at home this year as Dallas strikes out Yoan Moncada. Moncada's had a nice series and a nice season against the Astros in his rookie year, but Keuchel gets him here.
Good, couple of good changeups. He missed with one up in the zone. That third pitch you see on our MD Anderson strike zone, that's the money changeup. Diving down and away to get that swing and miss.
I would say of the 18 at-bats we've seen by Moncada, that was perhaps his worst swing.
Stay right there.
Yes, stay
there. He has been raking.
Here is Abreu taking a pitch on the inside corner. Sean Barber calling balls and strikes tonight behind the plate. Jose Altuve leads the American League with 57 multi-hit games. Jose Abreu is second in the AL with 54. Altuve knows there are some very talented hitters in this lineup, including the guy due up next behind Abreu. Avisail Garcia is the next closest in the batting race to Altuve. Jose starting with a 15-point lead. Title.
It's going to be a fun night if Dallas continues to get that inside corner where it is. That wasn't even close.
Really?
A little cut fastball that started in and broke in, and he got the call.
Expanded strike zones and Dallas Keuchel are a lethal combination. Abreu calls time. Ooh.
Yeah.
1 and 2 with no swings. Called third strike. He just stayed right on that spot.
That's called command.
If you're going to give it to me, I'll take it. Abreu never saw a strike, but he's out. Tonight presented by Southwest Airlines. The very top is George Springer with 103 runs scored, followed by Josh Reddick, who continues to hit at home. 9-game home hitting streak. Jose Altuve bats third. Carlos Correa is a cleanup hitter. Marwin Gonzalez batting fifth. Alex Bregman in the 6th spot, followed by Carlos Beltran, the DH. Yuli Gurriel, a big game last night with 3 hits. He hits 8th, and Brian McCann catches and bats 9th.
6-foot right-hander. Carson Fulmer going for the Chicago White Sox. He's out of Lakeland, Florida, making his 6th appearance and his 4th start this season. Numbers on the season: 18 innings. He's got 17 punch-outs, 9 walks. A little concerning in that sense, but he's holding opponents down to a 194 average. Fastball averaging around 93 miles an hour. Also has a cutter. That's probably been the issue for him, is getting pitches on that glove side, which are inside left-handed hitters. Therefore, he's got that cutter, also a curveball and a changeup.
First pitch misses to George Springer.
That's one way to get to the glove side.
Was that his cutter?
Just yank it.
Just totally yank it outside. Well, we're seeing 2 of the 3 young arms in the rotation right now. Reynaldo Lopez will go tomorrow for the White Sox. We saw Lucas Giolito in the first game of this series, and now we're seeing Carson Fulmer. They're getting a chance to look at their young 20-something arms in their rotation.
You say that cutter's been pretty effective. Woo. Wow, already a chat. It's a whole new record, Kevin Smith.
The 24% is on the season. Last start, he used that cutter 32.6% of the time. But why not if you have an 0.71 batting average against?
Yeah, that might be what Kevin Smith was going out there really trying to drive home.
Saw him in the bullpen.
Well, it was interesting when you have a meeting after a 1-1 count to the first batter. Springer with 32 home runs as a leadoff hitter this year. Ian Kinsler, the last leadoff hitter to hit as many as 32 home runs. That was in 2011. Josh Reddick, who loves hitting at Minute Maid Park, on deck. That one way outside. It's 2-2. Two cutters that he's thrown to the outside haven't been close. Springer has been not even been enticed to swing. Fulmer, after attending All Saints Academy in Lakeland, Florida, then went to Vanderbilt. Won a College World Series title for the Commodores in 2014. Starting pitcher in that final game against the Virginia Cavaliers. Down and away again. It's 3-2. Springer is such a dangerous leadoff hitter for so many reasons. The obvious one is that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he can also extend at bats. He's a tough guy for that first batter of the game when you're just trying to get your feet wet on the mound, especially a guy like Fulmer's never started against or never faced the Astros before. And you have one of the game's best hitters right out of the gate.
And we heard that a lot about George coming up through the minor leagues, is his strike zone command. And as a young hitter who has the tools that George has, it was kind of surprising to hear that, but he's maintained it since he's been here.
On the ground, gloved by the third baseman Tyler Saladino. He makes the play across for the first out. Here's Josh Reddick. Fourth in the American League with that .318 batting average. Hitting .471 during his 9-game home hitting streak. Josh's numbers at home this year. Home numbers are outstanding. They're even better at Minute Maid Park. And they aren't quite one and the same because he went 1 for 8 at Tropicana Field against the Rangers in a series that counted on his home record. Hitting .362 at Minute Maid Park after that 1 for 8's erase from his .353 average. Takes pitch inside, and Fulmer has fallen behind 3-0. Of the 9 walks issued by Fulmer this year in limited appearances, 4 starts, 6 appearances overall. 7 of the 9 have been against left-hand hitters. Josh fouls one. It's 3-2.
There we finally saw that cutter. He does throw it a lot to left-handed hitters. Picks it up about 20% of the time. That average against, as far as left-handed hitters, is only 167. It's a pretty good number for Carson Fulmer.
Outside, ball 4. That misses the edge. That might have been the same part of the plate that Dallas Keuchel was getting in the first inning.
That was my thought exactly. Wear your Cy Young belt buckle out there, you might get that call.
Here's Jose Altuve. Starts the night 5 hits shy of a 200 hit season. Misses to Altuve. It's 1-0. Jose has 57 multi-hit games on the year. He's won in his last 7 games. Altuve since August 1st, when he was batting a season high .368, is hitting .296 since the beginning of August. Pitch misses away. It's 2-0.
It's amazing that Altuve can hit .296, and it looks like he's struggling.
Right? At .281 in September feels like 200 for most guys.
It really does.
When he was on that torrid pace in the month of July, he set a bar that's really hard to achieve by hitting .485 for an entire month. 2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Fulmer throws that changeup around 87 miles an hour. Fulmer never facing the Astros, so all these guys, with the lone exception of Cameron Maybin, and he's not in the lineup, but all the guys on the roster seeing Fulmer for the first time. That's a strike. It's 2-2. I didn't think it was.
That's that cutter. Didn't look low to me. But I'm sure as a hitter, Altuve thinking that he sees the break going away from the plate, it must have been off the plate.
That's away. The count's full. See if AJ Hinch elects to put Reddick in motion here with 1 out and a full count. Astros started the night with 93 wins, tied for 4th most in franchise history. There goes Reddick. Pitch is foul. Do it all again.
It was more or less a hit and run the way Josh took off. Wasn't the greatest of jumps, and he was peeking in the whole time to see what Altuve was going to do.
Josh has 7 steals and 10 attempts this year. On the move again. The pitch is close, but called a ball 4. So the Astros with runners on first and second on a couple of walks.
There was a lot of concern around Carson Fulmer. There's something going on. There was a meeting early on. Kevin Smith went out. Then after the first hitter, after George Springer grounded out, Saladino came to the mound and had a conversation with Fulmer. Now you've got Rick Renteria and Herm Schneider coming out.
I thought the same thing. I thought it was unusual after 2 pitches to see the catcher go out to the mound, and I thought it was unusually long for Saladino to linger on the mound after that first out. And so now they're going to take Carson Fulmer out of the game. So Fulmer, the young 23-year-old right-hander, will face just 3 batters tonight. And after an initial ground out getting Springer, he walked the next 2, and something obviously bothering him.
I think it was a little bit of the finger. He was looking down at it as he was holding the baseball.
So unfortunate for the White Sox. Rick Renteria will go to his bullpen here. We're scoreless bottom half of the first inning. Sox have had to go to the bullpen already. They're going to go to Chris Volstad in behind Carson Fulmer, who had to leave due to injury. Astros wrapping up the AL West Division title on Sunday with a victory against the Seattle Mariners. And after the game, A.J. Hinch addressed his team.
Hey, what a team. What a team effort it takes to get to this point. We started out this season. We had all kinds of expectations, and you know what? They were right. We're the best team in the American League West. Probably the best team in the big leagues, and we're going to find out in October. This October team. Okay, here's the thing. I love the makeup of this team. We got dudes that grinded through the minor leagues here and played through a lot of lean years to get to this point, right? All Astros that came start to finish. We had some dudes that signed here as free agents that wanted to be a part of this. Caballo, Reddick, love it. We have some dudes that didn't want to, that had to choose to come here through trade, right? We got the MVP of the league right here. Hey, we even got a dude behind the plate that's got one tool. Hey, listen, it's a race to 11 wins starting in October, and I like our team's chances. All right, let's enjoy this, live it up. It's the best team you may ever be on this year. Enjoy.
Good stuff.
Always is. Never gets old.
Here's Carlos Correa against the new pitcher, Chris Volstad, who takes over. Had as much time as he needed to warm up. Didn't throw all that many pitches. But he comes into this game.
Hasn't pitched all that much this year. Making that fourth appearance. He went 2 innings last time out in Detroit. Gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. And I think Rick Renteria is going to be working with Johnny Holstaff the rest of the way.
Facing Carlos Correa with runners on first and second and 1 out. Correa, since the start of 2016, has batted with runners in scoring position more frequently than any other batter in baseball. 32.2% of his ABs. Has another opportunity here. It's 2-1.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive to have that many opportunities. It's a credit to the guys in front of him getting on base and getting into scoring position.
We'll see Albert Pujols here over the weekend. Hanley Ramirez and Ben Zobrist on the top 4 of that list. On the ground towards third, Saladino to second for 1, and the White Sox turn a double play on Correa, and Volstad gets out of the first. We're through 1, scoreless.
Chart is driven by your Texas Ford dealers. Avisail Garcia, one of the league's leading hitters, right behind Jose Altuve. Sprays the ball all over the field. Does a very good job staying up the middle. 63 of his hits going up the middle. 32 to right field. 65 of those going to left field. Very good. Middle in, middle down and in. He's a big man too. Once labeled Mini Miggy when he was with Detroit.
You can understand why. He's been on a nice run this second half of the season as he leads things off here in the second inning for the White Sox. Pretty good numbers against Dallas as well. 6 for 15 with a home run. And Dallas starts him off with a swing and a miss for a strike. Pitch misses. It's 1-1.
Tell you what, Moises Alou, ex-Astro, ex-big leaguer, played for many, many years. Could really make some cash on the side by teaching pitchers how not to get blisters on their pitching hands.
Really?
Yeah, the starter for the Chicago White Sox, Carson Fulmer, exited the game earlier. The blister on his right index finger. He had a certain technique that was relatively good. He never wore batting gloves when he hit. He never left a game or missed a game because of blisters. I don't know. Just saying. Go ahead and Google that. Research all you want. It seems like an epidemic these days. Are they making the seams on baseballs out of razor blades? Sorry.
No, I don't. It does seem like we have a few blisters. Colin McHugh left the game the other day, and now we see Carson Fulmer. Colin kind of had like a couple issues there with the nail and everything else, but yeah, it's a little unusual to see a guy only last 3 batters, and from the start it obviously was bothering him. It must have been something he felt a little hot spot in the bullpen warming up, because Kevin Smith, 2 batters in, went to go talk to him. Dallas is going to try and make a great play, and that's a tough one. That was in the perfect spot off the bat of Kevin Smith. That'll be an infield hit for the White Sox catcher, who's now 3 for 3 with a walk against Dallas this year.
Back-to-back hits now with the swinging bunt off the bat of Kevin Smith, and that's what happens when Dallas Keuchel goes out there. He creates a lot of ground balls. He also creates a lot of soft contact. You see it on our Mattress Firm Supermo. Right as he was breaking it down to try and plant the feet to go make that throw, it hits off the end of the glove.
That's the most frustrating part for Dallas and watching Dallas' starts, is that he gets so much soft contact. As you can see, the lowest line drive percentage in baseball, also the highest soft contact rate at 26%. A lot of times that soft contact ends up being in a troublesome spot on the infield and they don't get an out. Now Tyler Saladino around the bunt.
Better be a pretty good bunt. This is where it gets interesting if you're a third baseman and you have a Gold Glover on the mound in Dallas Keuchel. It's a force play at second base. And unless it's bunted firm at Alex Bregman, I would assume that he'd get back the bag and let the left-handed Dallas Keuchel try and make a play on it to get the lead runner.
This time he does not show bunt and takes one low. It's 1-1.
There's that soft contact percentage. The major league average is 26 or the 19%. Soft contact for Dallas Keuchel at 26%. Great numbers. If you're into the sabermetric and the peripherals, those are phenomenal numbers for a starting pitcher.
Swing and a miss. Foul tip caught by McCann. It's 1-2. Dallas also right up there amongst the leaders in double play ground ball percentage. Second in the big leagues in that category. He could use one here. Instead, pitch misses away. It's 2-2.
Might be part of the reason you don't see Dallas Keuchel panic too much in these situations with runners on, because he knows if he gets a ground ball, it's a possibility for 2 outs on that ground ball.
Swing and a foul tip. Strikeout number 3 for Dallas, and out number 1 in the second inning. A lot of these White Sox saw Dallas Keuchel in that startup in Chicago earlier this year. Pitched against them on August 8th, but Willie Garcia was not on the active roster at that point. He was coming back from a concussion and a fractured jaw that he suffered the week earlier. In a game against the Blue Jays, he and Yoan Moncada collided in shallow right field, and Moncada's knee fractured his jaw. Where's that protective helmet? Just his second game back off the DL after missing a month and a half. DHing for the first time in his major league career. Making his 12th start. Hits the ball on the ground off the glove of Gurriel. It stays on the infield, so everybody will advance just one base. Goes a base hit off the glove of Yuli. Another infield hit for the White Sox.
Tough play for Yuli. There's a lot going on in front of him. See him playing behind that runner at first base, and that ball was hit hard off the bat of Willie Garcia. But keeps it in the infield. Doesn't allow that run to come in. Still an opportunity for a ground ball.
Now Keuchel will face Reimer Liriano for the first time. Liriano played with the Padres back in 2014 and now getting his second turn at the big league level with the White Sox. Most of the season at AAA. Takes a pitch outside for ball one. 25 big league at bats on the season for Liriano, who came into the game last night. He was a late defensive replacement. One and one. Three hits in the inning. Avisail Garcia clean single to left, and an infield chopping hit by Kevin Smith, and another infield hit that was hit hard but off the glove of Yuli Gurriel. Keuchel now ahead 1-2.
Two-seam run on those fastballs.
Bounces in there, blocked by McCann. It's 2-2. Astros winning game one of this series 3-1, winning game two 4-3. White Sox have played Houston tough this year, winning 3 out of 5 games. Scored a total of 15 runs in the first 2 games up in Chicago with Dallas Keuchel and Colin McHugh starting. Does not chase. It's 3-2.
Almost.
When Dallas struggled a couple of starts ago in Oakland, it was because the A's would not chase pitches. Dallas got ahead of the count. This one gets away. It's going to be ball 4 either way, so the run's going to score. And that's a bases loaded walk. Saw that against the A's. Dallas walks the number 8 hitter with the bases loaded. In that start against the A's, he walked Matt Chapman, the number 7 hitter, with the bases loaded. Then he hit Mark Canha, the 8 hitter, with the bases loaded, before walking Marcus Semien again with the bases loaded. So hopefully that's not a repeat of a couple of starts ago. It is 1-0 White Sox on the bases loaded walk. Pitches a strike to Adam Engel. Go a whole season without seeing Keuchel walk anybody with the bases loaded, and we've seen 3 of those and a hit batter with the bases loaded in his last 3 starts.
I'll tell you what, after that strike zone we saw in the first inning, I wouldn't have assumed that would have happened.
Ahead here 0-2 on Engel. Astros looking for a strikeout or a ground ball towards the middle of the infield. There's the strikeout. Gets Engel to chase the high fastball, and that is strikeout number 4. 2 in this inning and 2 away. Bases remain loaded.
That's not a spot where you anticipate Dallas Keuchel going to, and I'm sure Engel saw a fastball and decided to take a chance. Got beat.
So now if Dallas can get Tim Anderson, he can escape this bases loaded situation with just 1 run. Anderson grounded out his first time up. Pops one foul and out of play. Dallas needed 13 pitches in the first inning. He's thrown 23 thus far in this inning. Ahead of Anderson 0-2. Kevin Smith, Willie Garcia, Reimer Liriano, the base runners for the White Sox. He got him. Swing and a miss for a 3rd strikeout in the inning. 5 strikeouts through 2, but the White Sox lead this game 1-0.
Please be our friends. Like us. We're likable.
I hope so. I went over 20,000 Twitter followers on
Killing it.
Yeah, buddy. You're at like 25. We don't even want to say where Julia is.
No, she's super popular.
Super. She's the most popular broadcaster on our team. 1-0 White Sox. We head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Hi, Julia. Oh, I thought they opened her up.
They did.
What are you up to? Like 50, 60,000 followers?
No, I don't even know.
Yes, you do.
I don't keep up.
All right, I'll look it up. You're going to make me look it up?
Look it up.
I'm just down here tweeting fun pictures. That's
I was
all.
going to say, you're a lot more aggressive than we are.
I do. I have a great view, so I like to take pictures and share what I'm seeing. Like guys cuddling on the bench down here.
Cuddling?
Yeah, they always cuddle. And then Jake Marisnik's got his cast on, so he's giving guys, they call it the high 4 instead of a high 5.
Wow.
Trying to get a good picture of that. Once I do, I'll tweet it out.
Can you go back 2 sentences ago? They always cuddle?
They do cuddle a lot. Yesterday, oh, there they are.
Is this suitable?
Oh, that's not really cuddling.
viewers?
Bregman and McCann were sitting really close to one another yesterday, arms around each other, bringing it in real tight. And then Verlander walked up, and it was like the Red Sea parted, and he got right in between them. It was hilarious. There's always stories within the story.
Oh man, here we go.
There's a little drama. There's always something going on down there.
I like that trio right there. Verlander, Peacock, Charlie Morton. That's a fun group. I want to hear their pitching conversations.
I don't want to hear their cuddling conversations.
No, I was surprised.
I think they still talk baseball. They just do it very closely while hugging one another.
Whoa.
1-2 pitch sent deep to right center field towards the bullpen, but getting back there and playable is the center fielder Engel. Marwin just got under it, sent it to the track in right center. So Julia just sent out some tweets. We're going to look at them. So that counts as cuddling, Julia?
Yeah, at one point,
He's got his arm around him.
McCann had his arm all the way around him. It was like they were at the movies.
Somebody got to first base, huh?
If you keep an eye on these guys, Altuve's always getting hugged. Everybody loves on Altuve, and I think it's because they try to steal hits from him or to get some of his hit magic.
No, we know why.
Yeah, everyone's trying.
He's the most adorable human there is. Why wouldn't you want to be around that guy?
That too. But these are the kinds of things that I tweet, so maybe that's why people want to follow. I don't know.
Cuddling and adorable, not necessarily 2 words you normally associate with the best.
Hey, that's big in-game analysis from your 2 analysts that you have on your side there, Todd. Okay.
101 to count to Alex Bregman. I like it. Chris Volstad delivers a pitch for a strike. It's 1-2. Altuve is one of the more fun players to watch on the field, in the dugout. how he approaches every day. Always having a good time out there. There's a line drive, base hit, center field. Alex Bregman, who was struggling a little bit on the homestand, now 3 for 16. He's a 1-out base runner.
Astros on the board with that first hit off the bat of Alex Bregman. Good piece of hitting. Hanging fastball up out of the plate. Just let it travel and shoot it right back where it came from.
Bregman and Jose Abreu having a word as Carlos Beltran digs in. Carlos starting the game with 1,078 extra base hits. And he swings at the first pitch and sends it high in the air. Engel is there. And there's 2 away.
I just picked up 2 new followers due to the Julia Morales effect.
Just now.
Just now. Because I said the name Julia Morales, I got 2 new followers.
Congratulations.
And she just went over 54,000.
Just in case, Julia, I know you're not counting over 54,000.
What are you talking about? That's her screensaver is how many followers she has.
People like their Astros. This is great.
Don't.
I just tweet about the Astros and the Rockets. I like them too. And sometimes J.J. Watt.
Two outs, Bregman on first base. And Yuli fouls one. It's 0-1. Yuli last night with a 3 for 4 night bumped his batting average up to 298. He has not been at 300 since July 21st, and that was only for 1 game. He was at 300 for 1 game since the 6th of May. But he is approaching that number again as he is 12 for his last 23 in his last 7 games. And he hits 8th in this lineup. And he has a higher percentage of well-hit baseballs this year than anybody in baseball. And he finds himself in the bottom third of the order.
Pretty amazing. I mean, he's going to get over 70 RBIs this season. They're going to show up in a playoff series, and the starting pitcher is going to have to look at the lineup and see the 8-hole hitter with 70 RBIs.
And McCann, the 9-hole hitter, should have more than 60. He's been on the DL a couple of times, concussion DL, and then for the right knee. That pitch is inside. It's 1-1. No breathers, 1 through 9. Said it all season long, and it has played out from opening day through September. Pitch misses from Volstad. It's 2-1. Volstad threw a couple of innings out of the bullpen recently for Rick Renteria. This guy has started his career with the Marlins. 2008 was his first season at the big league level at the age of 21. Runner on the move, and Gurriel fouls it away.
Started 18 games for the Charlotte Knights, their AAA affiliate for the Chicago White Sox, so he has been stretched out throughout the course of the season, now working out of the bullpen for Rick Renteria. This might be a little more of an extended outing for him with Carson Fulmer coming out.
When Fulmer left in the first inning, it was the first time the Astros have seen an opposing pitcher taken out of a game in the first. This one was injury related, since Jesse Hahn was lifted from a game on June 3rd of last year, as the Astros hit around the Oakland right-hander in that start. Two pitches, a line drive up the middle. Yuli Gurriel continues to get closer to 300. A base hit to center field, and the Astros have 2 runners on with 2 outs.
taking offense to you making fun of him for only being over 300 for a game.
He just touched it. Just got to 300 once. But he's got a chance to finish the year, and that's all that matters at that number. I hope he takes offense to that.
Got to the top of the hill. I'm kidding.
The top of the Pina.
Yeah.
Here's Brian McCann. See if the Astros have any two-out magic here. Gurriel with a hit, and now McCann, who is hitting close to 300 since coming back from the DL. Called strike. It's 0-1. Volstad ahead of McCann 0-2. McCann is probably, barring a 6 home run finish here in the last 10 or 11 games, going to see that 20 home run streak go by the boards. It'll be the first year he hasn't hit 20 home runs since 2007. Has 14 right now. He had 18 that year in 2007. But every other year since 06, McCann has hit at least 20 home runs. A little flinch there by Sean Barber. Doesn't pull the trigger. It's 2-2.
It's a good sell by McCann.
Mentioned McCann on the DL a couple of times. 327 ABs, the fewest he's ever had since his rookie season. And he had 180 at bats in 59 games. So normally he's around 450 to 500 in the at bats department. This year he will not get close to that number. And he's got a full count, which means Bregman and Gurriel get a head start with 2 outs. McCann is so good with 2 strikes, keeping at bats alive. And if he turns things over, George Springer will get a chance to bat with the bases loaded. Pickoff attempt, and Bregman's out. Bregman is out on a pickoff attempt at second base, trying to get a head start on that 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and the White Sox caught him leaning.
It's not the first time we've seen Alex Bregman get picked off at second base. He was trying to be aggressive to get that jump, got picked.
Half of the 3rd inning. Astros wrapping up this 3-game series against Chicago. Then the Angels come to town. The Angels losing earlier today at home. They were swept in that 3-game series by the Cleveland Indians, who are now 27-1 in their last 28 games. The Angels, despite being swept, currently 2 games behind the Twins for the last wild card spot. The Twins are playing tonight in Detroit. Here's Yoan Moncada. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Dallas Keuchel. Moncada struck out his first time up. Dallas has 5 strikeouts. Yankees are starting to extend their lead to the point where they're about to wrap up and clinch a playoff spot. They have a 7-game cushion from the first wild card to the second wild card. Yankees still thinking about the AL East, where they trail by 3 games, with both Boston and New York having the off day today. Ground ball foul. It's 1-2. For the Astros, if they end up with a 1 or the 2 seed, they will play the first game at Minute Maid Park 2 weeks from tonight. Game 1 of the ALDS. 3-2 pitch misses. It's 3-2. Will game 1 of the ALDS 2 weeks from tonight be the guy on the mound right now, Dallas Keuchel, or will it be Justin Verlander? Good option, good decision to have to make. 3-2 pitch misses inside, and Dallas has walked his second batter. Julia?
Hey, it's time for Chevy Stroke Poll. Make sure you're following us at AT Sportsnet SW. That way you can go to our Twitter page and vote. Who's your Astros defensive infielder of the year? Is it super utility, Marwin Gonzalez? Or is it second baseman Jose Altuve with this gem not too long ago at Angel Stadium? You can watch that all day. Carlos Correa at short. Or Alex Bregman. He's played a great third base, but also filling in for Carlos Correa and doing a really nice job sliding over to shortstop for a significant amount of time.
That one's off the glove of Alex Bregman on a diving attempt. Abreu heading to second, and he will be safe as he avoids the tag of Jose Altuve. Abreu hit one down the line and made a great slide to get away from Altuve. And that puts runners on second and third with nobody out. Marwin had to throw there in time.
Did, made a good plan, and we almost saw Alex Bregman make a phenomenal play by laying out, just tipping off his glove. Marwin played that extremely well off that ricochet. Thought he might have gotten the jersey there a little bit. But an incredible slide, even going past the bag, able to get back.
Astros will play the middle of the infield back. Gurriel tight at first base with Avisail Garcia the batter. Dallas wants to go over the signs with Brian McCann. So the best infield defensive work all year long. All four of those guys are good choices. I think my vote in the first half might be different than my vote right now.
Could be. I answered that one pretty quickly.
Best defensive infielder on the year?
Yeah.
Would your vote have changed? Would you have voted for that guy at the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little biased because I was in a similar situation moving from short to third. I just appreciate the difficulty in that. I also appreciate Marwin Gonzalez moving all over the infield too. But I've just been very impressed with Alex Bregman.
.1-0 pitch in the dirt. It's 2-0. It's hard to argue with that choice, especially the way he's been the last 2 or 3 months. He has made spectacular plays July, August, and now into September. See how Dallas attacks Garcia here. It is 2-0. There is a catcher due up, Kevin Smith. Even though you don't like to see too much traffic on the bases, not sure if Dallas will give him anything too good to hit here, and it's 3-0. One of those where Dallas can get him to chase one of his pitches. Bonus, but if not, they'll attack Kevin Smith with the bases full and force at every bag. Four-pitch walk. A couple of walks in the inning. That one a little more on the intentional side. Now Keuchel will try and figure out a way to get out Kevin Smith. Smith this year has faced Dallas 4 times. He has a single, a double, a home run, and a walk. Single, though, was a little chopping ground ball in the right spot on the left side of the infield his first time up. Moncada on third. Abreu on second. And Garcia on first. Strike called, 0-2. Stays alive on a high fastball. Dallas in this game has allowed 4 hits and 3 walks. Pitching with nobody out and the bases loaded in the third.
Really feel like Dallas likes those teams with the veteran lineups that he can go out and exploit, find their weaknesses and get after them. These young teams, you don't know what they're going to chase, what they're not, what they're good at hitting, what they're not. You're kind of feeling them out as you go. They really felt him out the first time he faced him up in Chicago. So that intimidation factor might be a little bit lost on the Chicago White Sox just because of the youth and what they did to him in Chicago.
Bounces in there. Smith not chasing. It's 2-2. Bases loaded walk. Scored the first run for the White Sox. That was a count where he was ahead of Reimer Liriano and ended up walking him with the bases full. Smith stays alive, 2-2.
How about a ground ball to third and go 5-2-3?
That'll work. We're right back to Dallas. This is past Dallas. Correa's going to have to go to second. Altuve's return throw. They get the double play. A run does score. Dallas picks up another double play ground ball on the play. Moncada scores to make it a 2-0 game.
Again, soft contact. You were hoping it was hit soft enough to where Dallas could get to it, but it gets past him, and Correa to Altuve to Yuli.
No RBI for Smith as the run crosses the plate. Here's Tyler Saladino. Saladino struck out his first time up. Dallas with 5 strikeouts, the other 3 outs on the ground. A lot of pitches through 3 innings. One and 2. White Sox sending an all right-hand hitting lineup at Dallas tonight. Dallas has had so much success this year against left-hand hitters. There's one switch hitter, Yohan Moncada. The rest are natural righties. Saladino stays alive. third strike, upper part of the zone. 6 strikeouts for Keuchel. Gets through a bases loaded, no out situation with 1 run scoring.
Is brought to you by Toyota. During the 9-game home streak, Josh Reddick has been extremely good. Hit .471, 10 RBIs in those 10 games. He loves playing at home, so you knew he was going to be on this list during that 9-game home streak. Then George Springer, meager .382 average. His on-base percentage, he's almost up to 50% of the time being on. That's why he's scoring so many runs. And of course, Jose Altuve, rounding back into form. He's already got large numbers on the road, trying to get up big here at home late in the season. A couple more games here at Minute Maid Park.
McCann sends one deep to right field. This is into the upper deck. Home run. Brian McCann, his 15th of the season, and the Astros get one right back.
McCann and ball.
Said he'd need a big home run push to get to 20 this year, or that's a good start with a home run in the first inning. Excuse me, this first AB.
We had a good look at Volstad last AB, getting to a 3-2 count before Alex Bregman gets picked off. And here he was on the attack, and that is perfectly squared up going into the upper tank. That feels good.
His swing has looked better since the last DL stint. Had that knee injury.
Getting on those legs, driving through it. 103.2 miles an hour off the bat, estimated 412. Woo!
That's a big bolt by Brian McCann. He was the batter when Alex Bregman was picked off with a full count. Now in on the hands of Springer. George rolls one to second, and he's retired for the first out of the 3rd inning. Players with 15 or more home runs, we are up to 8 on the season.
Good grief. That's a lot of home runs.
Josh Reddick, the batter. That's rare company right there. 8 hitters with 15 or more home runs. Doesn't happen a whole lot. This is the year of the home run. Reddick's 2 away from joining that group. He has 13.
Yeah, he should be on there by the end of the year easy. Carlos Beltran needs 1 more.
It's in the air to center field, but Engel's angling and gets there for the 2nd out.
Is he an angler?
he's an angle who angled. 2 outs.
Good stuff.
Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve walked his first time up. Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Volstad has faced every batter now, facing Altuve as the 9th batter he has seen. Came on after Altuve walked against the starter Carson Fulmer, who lasted just 3 batters. Left with a blister. Altuve takes a strike. It's 1-1. Volstad out of Palm Beach Gardens High School, not far from where the Astros call spring training their home. West Palm Beach, Florida. Inside, it's 2-1. On the ground foul. It's 2-2. Tonight when Renteria made the change, he went from a 2015 first rounder, Carson Fulmer, to a 2005 first rounder, Chris Volstad. Volstad selected by the Marlins in the first round of the 05 draft. Call third strike, catches the corner. That is the first strikeout for Volstad. Brian McCann changed the score.
Dropping a cannonball into that upper tank. Getting that 15th home run on the season. 8 guys at 15+ home runs for the Houston Astros. Getting them on the board.
It was 2-1 as we head to the 4th inning. Guy doesn't need to go to Keuchel's corner.
No, he's a role model.
He is good to go. First pitch from Dallas misses to Willie Garcia as we start the 4th. A little bit of a rough start for Dallas. 62 pitches in after 3 innings. He's allowed 4 hits and 3 walks thus far. Got out of a bases loaded, no out situation, allowing just 1 run last inning. Misses with the first 2 of the 4th to Garcia. It's 2-0. Big swing. White Sox coming into this series 27th out of 30 teams in the lowest take percentage. They're an aggressive group, but tonight they've had a little different approach to Dallas. They've been laying off pitches and for the most part not leaving the zone. 3-1. What kind of team you thought would work in Dallas's favor tonight? They've done a good job changing their approach. 3-1 is chop foul. Garcia 3 games DH at the AAA level this year. His first major league start as a designated hitter. Broken bat, Bregman, nice backhand stop. The long throw across, and Gurriel, a little shuffle of the feet, makes the play for the first out.
Good pitch by Dallas, getting in the kitchen of Willie Garcia in the backhand play. I like the fact that he planted his feet to make that good strong throw across the diamond. Nice backhand on the right foot, plant the right foot and let that thing go. Also glad to see Yuli getting out of harm's way. Wow.
Garcia's a big boy. He's already had 1 collision this year. There's a swing and a miss. 0-1. Yuli was right on the train tracks there. Only got out of the way.
He was.
Liriano walked his first time up with the bases loaded and forced in a run. Dallas getting the start tonight. He will also start in that Texas Rangers series. Both Keuchel and Verlander will wrap up that series in Arlington, which means they will not get a start in the series in Boston. More than likely, Dallas could pitch some innings in that final game, but the trick is AJ Hinch would rather his 1 and 2 starters not have to face Boston at least twice in a row, and possibly a 3rd start in a row, depending on the length of the series. Pitch misses. It's 2-2.
Sounds like an amoeba. Keeps moving.
Ooh, I like that pitch.
It's a great pitch, considering the entire baseball was inside the strike zone. That a kid.
Plummer.
It's good product and hair color. Appreciate it. Blue tips.
Dual action on the hairstyles.
It's awesome. That might be why I have 4 girls, because I would have done that to my boys.
Stays 2-2. We were talking about the hair color either last night or the night before, your hairstyles. You went through a few different colors, right?
I had some internal issues I was dealing with, Todd, and I took it out on my hair.
I saw the platinum blonde during a commercial. That was a good look.
I think I had the most hits with the platinum blonde. That's why I stuck with it.
Well, Dallas had Liriano struck out about 3 or 4 pitches ago. Didn't get the call, and now the count's full. Dallas got the benefit of some calls in the first inning, but easily could have been through this batter in 4 pitches. Instead, he gets the ground ball. Correa comes in, and there's 2 away.
Join the Astros this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon for the Hispanic Heritage Street Fest presented by Fiesta. The festival will have live Latin music, traditional Spanish dancers, games, food trucks, and more. Visit astros.com/Hispanic Heritage for tickets and info.
Don't forget, game time changes this weekend. Saturday, originally a night game, is now 12:05. Sunday was originally a day game. That's now a 7:05 start, and there is broadcast partner Jeff Blum in the Platinum Blonde days.
Billy Idol. I don't know who that is.
Bunted on the plate. McCann barehands it in fair territory, and Engel is retired. Good play by the Astros catcher, jumping out in front of that plate and recording it out. 1-2-3 inning for Dallas. Scenes at Minute Maid Park with an Astros ballpark tour. The tour lets you check out areas like the broadcast booth, press box, dugout, scoreboard control room, and more. Visit astros.com/tours to book your tour today. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Carlos Correa will lead things off. Correa was the first batter Chris Volstead faced in the first inning. Time to ground into a double play after starting pitcher Carson Fulmer had walked 2 in a row before leaving the game with a blister. Correa, since coming off the DL, batting a little bit higher than 190 as he sends one the other way. Moncada makes the play, and there's 1 out on 1 pitch. Nice to see Carlos get things going in the final week and a half. Obviously, he had that incredible stretch leading into the All-Star break. It just hasn't been healthy here in the second half.
Yeah, and he might be getting a little bit frustrated with himself because we actually saw him start to swing the bat pretty well, but last couple games starting to get jammed a little bit. But I still think that the swing is good enough. Obviously, the talent's good enough. I think it's just a matter of seeing a couple of those baseballs sneak through and starting to barrel them up again to get them hot. But there's plenty of baseball left as far as at-bats are concerned for Carlos Correa to get things right.
I think as you watch how A.J. Hinch proceeds, obviously he still has some goals in mind. Number 1 goal is to get the first seed in the American League playoffs by having the best record. He'll also give his guys some breathers along the way to make sure they're fresh for the postseason, but I'm pretty sure Carlos Correa will not get much of a breather compared to some of the others who have been grinding all year.
Yeah, it's going to be a combination of A.J. Hinch wanting to get those ABs, but I don't think Carlos Correa is going to be the guy that goes, I need time off. I think he's going to be the guy that the more you put me in there, the more ABs I have to get out of the way and get things right again is what he wants.
And also there is a 3-day gap in the schedule between the final game in Boston and the postseason. Ground ball to the right side. Volstad's done a pretty good job, save for that home run by Brian McCann since he's come in there. He's now gone 3 innings, allowed 3 hits and a lone run on that solo home run. Two outs, base is empty. Here's Alex Bregman. You have a built-in 3 days anyhow from Sunday until Thursday. The guys should be fully rested coming into that. Best of 5 in the first round. Bregman takes a called strike.
Armstead's not tricking anybody. He just continues to go out there and fill up the strike zone.
Big man, 6'8". Right-hander's done a nice job coming out of the bullpen in an emergency situation. Bregman goes down on 3 pitches. Bregman felt like he foul tipped that, but he goes down swinging for the final out. 1, 2, 3 innings, 6 in a row, retired. On AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for just $3.99 for a limited time only. And by the all-new 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. See dealer for warranty details. 5th inning baseball, 2-1 White Sox. Dallas Keuchel facing the top of the order, Tim Anderson. Anderson, Yoan Moncada, and Jose Abreu. Keuchel has recorded 12 outs tonight, 6 on the ground, 6 strikeouts. There's a ball in the air, and for the first time, a fly ball. This one a line drive caught by an outfielder as Marwin makes the play for out number 1. I'll bring up Yoan Moncada. Moncada walked and scored the game's 2nd run. Dallas also struck him out. Dallas has 6 strikeouts, including 5 in the first 2 innings. Slicing into the crowd, it's 1-1. Astros starting the night with 93 wins, matching the 1980 and the 2001 teams. One more win will give them the most in this millennium in franchise history, and the most since 1999. Foul ball. 2-2. The Astros at one point needed to go 13-4 to get to 100 wins. Now they're on a 6-game winning streak. They only have to go 7-4 in their last 11, which seems much more manageable. And they still have an outside shot if they go 9-2 of matching the 98 team record of 102 wins. There's a swing and a miss. Moncada goes down for the 2nd time. 7 strikeouts for Dallas.
Don't miss the final regular season home game of 2017 and Fan Appreciation Night. Fans in attendance for the Sunday night home finale will get a 2017 team photo and 2018 schedule pen presented by Saltgrass Steakhouse. Visit Astros.com/promotions for tickets and info.
Here's Jose Abreu. His evasive slide on that double his last time up helped the White Sox score a run. Hit one down the line and avoided the tag of Jose Altuve. Eventually the White Sox would cross the plate on a double play with the bases loaded. Pops this one high in the air. McCann will give it a look and just outside of his reach.
Somebody underneath got blown up.
Cracker Jacks blew up, or the beer?
Not sure. He doesn't look too fazed by it.
Cracker Jacks look like they're intact.
Right into your living room.
What's Cracker Jacks? There's a new toy surprise.
Wow. That was a good one, yeah. Weren't anticipating that.
That's a fan that doesn't get fazed by much. He was interrupted in the middle of his Cracker Jacks and acted like nothing happened.
Yeah, you're sitting in those seats. You might have an opportunity to get another bag.
I don't think we can reach them from here. But
No.
I do think they have fresh supplies down low for those
I
people.
don't know. My arm's feeling pretty good tonight. I might be able to get it down there.
Nice. Ball into left field. Marwin going back. He's looking up. He's at the edge of the track, and he makes the play. Puts that glove up against the wall. Well hit by Abreu, but into the wrong nook and cranny here at Minute Maid Park.
White Sox, and it's time to name that Astro. This is presented by your local Honda dealer. We give you 3 clues. Then you guess by tweeting us at ATT Sportsnet SW. Trade-in value, Death Wish, Miami Vice.
Jeez, some angry clues.
Yeah.
They are. All right, that's all you get. Good luck. We will reveal the result later. TK.
Trade-in value, Miami Vice. The Death Wish is throwing me off.
I always think of Danny Darwin.
Dr. Death. On the ground off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Bullpen action going for the White Sox as we start the bottom half of the 5th inning. But Volstad's done a nice job. He hasn't shown any signs of fatigue so far. Mike Pelfrey, the righty. Lefty is Chase Fry. Facing the team that has scored more runs than anybody in baseball. Yankees are making a run lately at the Astros run lead. Yankees scored 11 yesterday while the Astros put up 4. There's a ground ball to Saladino on 2 pitches. Volstad has 2 outs. Ground out by Beltran and a ground out by Gurriel.
That means Brian McCann will automatically take the first pitch.
And knowing McCann, he'll probably take 2.
Yes.
Because he knows Dallas Keuchel could use a breather. And Brian's going to not have to worry about facing this pitcher who he hit a home run against his last time up, as Rick Renteria is going to the bullpen. So Volstad with 2 pitches and 2 outs in this inning. He ends up with 4 innings of work and only allowed 3 hits and a run. He gets pats all around. Nice job by the White Sox reliever. We'll tell you about the new lefty when we come back. Be a member of the 2018 Coca-Cola Shooting Stars team. As a member of the Shooting Stars, you'll be an ambassador for the Houston Astros brand throughout the year. Visit astros.com/shooting stars for audition information. Will be coming up in November. As we play in the bottom half of the 5th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. Chris Volstad did a good job out of the White Sox bullpen, and now with Brian McCann they go to the lefty, Chase Fry.
Chase Fry came in and pitched in yesterday's game. On the game on the 20th, which was yesterday. Gave up 1 hit, didn't record an out. That's 2 of his last 3 outings where he's failed to record an out. He's also given up an earned run. That was last night. Also fastball, cutter, curveball, and a changeup.
He faced Josh Reddick in last night's game, and Reddick hit that high towering fly ball to center that Adam Engel couldn't track down, and then went for a triple. McCann does take the first pitch. It's a breaking ball for a strike.
Back to that home run. First pitch attack into the upper tank for Brian McCann, getting that 15th home run of the season.
Start him off with a cutter, and then he breaks out that breaking ball, the curveball. He's ahead 0-2. Fry usually only faces lefties in short stints, so he may face just McCann or might be in there for 2 out of 3 with Josh Reddick due up after Springer. Springer would like to get a shot in this inning. Astros down 2-1. We're playing the 5th. Fry doesn't get the chase there. McCann down early, now back to a 2-2 count. Fry, 24-year-old left-hander. Trying to get McCann with that same pitch, and Bryant not biting. And again, job by McCann to lay off 4 pitches out of the zone after being down 0-2. Well, Fry will only face 1 batter tonight. Rick Renteria out of the dugout. And Fry fails to record an out for his 4th consecutive appearance. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back.
Plenty of time to figure out Name That Astro. It's presented by your local Honda dealer. We gave you 3 clues: trade-in value, Death Wish, Miami Vice. Do you guys have it up there?
Circle of Death. There you go.
Yeah, Chris Stavinsky. Thanks for playing.
Quite a player to be named later.
Yeah.
TiVo, tonight's Name That Astro. New pitcher for the White Sox is Mike Pelfrey.
Seasoned veteran, 20 starts under his belt. Has not been a good year for Mike Pelfrey. A 3-11 record, a whip over 1.5. A little bit better out of the bullpen with that 3.75.
George on the ground. Abreu has it. And on 1 pitch, Pelfrey gets the final out of the 5th inning. 2-1 White Sox.
Trailing the White Sox, but if they can get a lead here for Dallas Keuchel and get the win, they'd be doing something pretty special, as Astros starters have earned a win in all 6 games on their current winning streak, and last time they've done that for the Astros, 2005. And I was talking to the manager about this before the game, who started to reminisce a little bit about this starting rotation and what they've been through all season long, and was saying that, you know, I remember the stretch when the starters couldn't get through 5. He remembers the stretch when the top of the rotation was really dominating, and then they really struggled on the back end, and then that happened to flip, and all the injuries. So you look back at the body of work and how the Astros got here, it's pretty incredible. But to see them put together this nice streak right here, and to hand the ball off to one another and kind of compete every night that they go out there, to see what the next guy can do is really good for the morale of this team as they finish up the regular season. He also said that maybe some of these innings that they didn't pitch earlier in the season with some of these injuries means that they have fresh arms here too, and they are ready to do something great in the postseason. TK.
Yeah, that's the silver lining out of all the injuries, Julia. You're right, is that nobody is really going to be taxed in terms of innings pitched. Nobody will be more than 150 innings as an Astro other than Mike Fiers, and he just barely eclipsed the 150 plateau in his last start. Dallas has an outside shot depending on their plans. Right now he would be scheduled to go the final day in Boston, coming in with 133 2/3 innings. He would need basically a 3rd start to get to 150 innings this year, and I'm not sure if he'll get that 3rd start or not, and if so, it might just be limited. 0-2 to Avisail Garcia into right field. Reddick is there. Since Dallas pitched around Garcia to load the bases back in the 3rd, he is now retired 9 in a row.
Time now for our league leaders, brought to you by Houston Methodist. Starting opponent batting average since September 4th. The Astros second on that list behind the Dodgers at 217. Some playoff contending teams on that list. Championships have a tendency to lean on those pitching staffs when you're going for wins late in the season. Those teams are stepping up.
Here's a ball in the center field. Kevin Smith with a base hit. Smith grounded into a double play with the bases loaded. That's the only time Dallas has retired him. He's now 4 for 5 with a walk this season against Keuchel. 5 hits allowed by the Astros lefty. Will Harris has started to throw in the Astros bullpen. He began at the start of the inning. Dallas at 92 pitches. Tyler Saladino, the batter.
Is it bad that every time we show that bullpen shot, I do not look at the pitcher? I'm watching the guys in the background.
I did that time. I
always peek at them. I'm like, what are they going to do this time?
Just in case there's any hijinks going on. Pitches inside for a ball. Everything normal.
These guys over here.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder if they're going to look up and see that they got circled.
Somebody just came out of the cave.
Playing coy right now.
1-0 pitch misses. It's 2-0.
Take your word for it. That was a pretty darn good pitch from Dallas Keuchel.
Dallas stared in there for an extra beat after this delivery.
Yeah, that's Keuchel zone down there.
Definitely a pitch he'd like to see called a strike at the knees. It's now 2-1 on Saladino. Well, the starter's batting average against that you showed was helped last night by Brad Peacock going 6 innings, only allowing 1 hit.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy. Seems like every start it's 1, 3, 4. He's not been giving up many hits at all lately. Saladino around the bunt takes it inside. It's 3-1. Last 5 starts for Peacock, he's allowed a total of 15 hits. That's 3 per start.
And he's going 6 innings. You know, that's, I mean, he's not going out there and getting cheated. He's going out there and getting deep in ball games.
On the ground, could be 2. Correa, Altuve to Gurriel. And Dallas wraps up the 6th inning with a double play ground ball. Has a little discussion with Sean Barber on the way off the mound and a smile after that double play. We are through 5 1/2 in a 2-1 game. 6th inning, Astros down 2-1. This has been a pretty close series throughout. Astros winning 3-1 on Tuesday night, beating the White Sox last night 4-3, and tonight trailing in a 2-1 game. Josh Reddick will lead things off against Mike Pelfrey. It's been an all bullpen night for Rick Renteria and the White Sox after Carson Fulmer left after 3 batters in this game. Reddick takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Josh has walked and flied to center field, looking to extend a 9-game home hitting streak. Bolstad came out of the bullpen and threw 4 innings of 1-run baseball. Now turns it over to Pelfrey. Pelfrey got the last out of the 5th inning, getting George Springer to ground out. Reddick, Jose Altuve, and Carlos Correa. Two and two. Saladino, the third baseman. 1 out. Astros haven't had a lot going offensively since the 2nd inning. Only base runner since the 2nd has been Brian McCann, who hit a home run and then reached on a walk with 2 outs in the 5th. Here's Jose Altuve. Gary Chance, Blummer.
I want him to back it up right here.
Altuve almost never gives the fans enough time to get the chant going.
Well, it's not a. It's not an ambush type swing either. That was a 2-strike, oh my gosh, swing on the first pitch. For a guy that hits 347, he can sell out and chase a pitch well out of the zone. He does it, and his hitting coach goes, hey, way to stay alive. I do it. I'm getting a talking to in a 2-hour session in the cage.
He can take hitters' pitches and turn them into hits better than pretty much anybody in baseball right now.
And who knows, he may be smart enough to be trying to set the pitcher up.
Altuve down 0-2. Doesn't chase there. It's 1-2. Jose with a 7.7 offensive WAR number this year.
Wow.
Last year it was at 7.8. Those are the third and fourth highest offensive WAR numbers for an individual in Astros franchise history.
Fourth?
Third and fourth. This is fourth.
1994 Baggy?
Yeah, Baggy was 7.6, right behind him. Bagwell's in the top 5 with 7.6 in 94 and 7.5 in 96. Jimmy Wynn had the highest offensive WAR season in 1969. 8.5, and Cesar Cedeno in 72 at 8. Woo. Outside, it's a full count. Phil Boudreau, our outstanding statistician all year, in his final game with us tonight, providing those numbers for us.
It's pretty good.
We do have one more telecast here tomorrow on AT&T Sportsnet. Then the last 2 home games of the season will be a national broadcast. Swing and a miss. Pelfrey got him. Give him a little slider there to get him swinging for the second out.
The Houston Astros have set up a website so that all fans can help raise much needed funds for Hurricane Harvey relief. Visit ucaring.com/Astros Harvey to donate today.
Yeah, thoughts on a lot of people's minds right now, including the guy at home plate.
Definitely.
On what's going on after Hurricane Maria went through Puerto Rico. Carlos Beltran obviously impacted. Juan Centeno.
Alex Cora, Alex Cintron. 2 coaches that are on that bench.
Still not a whole lot of communication coming out of Puerto Rico. Strike called. It's 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing on social media and a lot of the reports we're getting back do not sound good.
Power could be out for an extended period of time down there. Correa has grounded into a double play and grounded out. Carlos had that average heading into the All-Star game right around 320. It's down to 298 now. Curveball, swings and misses, 1-2. Correa's 1 home run since coming back from the DL came on Sunday on clinching day. And the Astros wrapped up a sweep against the Seattle Mariners and wrapped up the AL Western Division. Just missed. The count's full. Pelfrey thought he had a called third strike. Seattle went back home after that series. They're in danger of being swept at Safeco by the Rangers. They played tonight. Texas winning the first 2 games of that series. Pop foul. Heading towards the Astros dugout. Minnesota winning 12-1 tonight in Detroit. One thing kind of became clear though in recent series, both Minnesota playing against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium and the Angels playing against Cleveland at home at Angel Stadium, is the teams vying for that second wild card spot. There seems to be a gap between the top 4 teams and then teams 5, 6, 7, 8 all going for that last spot in the postseason.
A severe gap. That second wild card spot is going to be a 500 team, it seems like, coming out of the American League. But it's been a grind for those guys trying to fight for that number 2 spot.
Nasty breaking ball there. Dropped in the hook on Carlos Correa for a called third strike. We're through 6 in a 2-1 game.
Thanks for voting in our Chevy Stroh poll. Remember to follow us at AT Sportsnet SW. If you didn't get a chance, who's your Astros defensive infielder of the year? Alex Bregman wins with 38% of the vote. Altuve coming in second with 26. Let's take a look at some of Bregman's team this year.
He's been extremely good over there at the hot corner. We also saw him move to shortstop when Carlos went on the DL. Actually thought that helped him become that much better down the stretch here for the Houston Astros at third base. Is going back to that natural position at shortstop where the footwork became extremely good. He's been showing that athleticism at third base here in recent days.
A great defensive year for Alex Bregman, and he's matched that up with a really strong second half at the plate. As we head to the 7th, new pitcher for the Astros, Will Harris, delivers a strike.
Will looked good the other night. Pitched a couple days ago against these White Sox. Went an inning, got himself a punch out. Got his 19th hold on the season. Only threw 10 pitches doing it.
Will face the bottom third of the order for the White Sox. Garcia chops one foul. It's 0-2. Dallas ended up going 6 innings. Keuchel allowed 5 hits, a couple of runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Only one of the walks came around to score, but he did walk in a run when Reimer Liriano would not chase once he got down to the count. But overall, you'll take 6 innings and 2 runs on any given night. Fortunately, Dallas didn't have much run support tonight, so that streak of starters picking up victories will end at 6. 1-2 the count to Willie Garcia. Two and two. Garcia, another one of those guys 25 years or younger in their lineup. On the ground, Correa deep in the hole, plants, throws a strike. What an arm. 1 out.
Another guy making a tough play look easy, but he does a good job in getting himself in position, catching that backhand play with his right foot planted. What that does is it opens his front side up so he can see the baseball into the glove, but it also puts him on that right side to create a very strong throw. It was fundamentally sound.
Saw the messages on Carlos's hat. Pray for Puerto Rico and pray for Mexico. They have dealt with the recent earthquake. Nicky Delmonico is the pinch hitter. And Alex Bregman makes the play. Delmonico pinch hitting for Reimer Liriano, and there's 2 quick outs for Will Harris. No lefty starting tonight with Dallas Keuchel on the mound. Delmonico gets pinch hit AB, and now it's Adam Engel's turn. Called strike to Engel, 0-1. Harris faced Garcia, Davidson, and Anderson in the first game of this series. Able to retire them in order. Now facing a different Garcia, Willie Garcia, Reimer Liriano, and Adam Engel. First time he faced Avisail Garcia. He gets Engel swinging. McCann's going to have to make the throw down, which he does to retire the White Sox center fielder. Another strong inning for Will Harris as he goes 1-2-3 in the seventh.
Bases loaded. The team was discussing one of their favorite pastimes, and Jeff Bagwell is explaining his iconic batting stance. But I will tell you, there's a brand new one coming on tomorrow, Friday, that's at 6 o'clock before Astros pregame, and it covers the clinch. It covers Sunday's celebration. Hear from the players and the coaches on being crowned the AL West champs, as well as we asked some of these guys what they would change about the game of baseball, and that was actually really interesting. Some don't want any change at all, and then went on to talk about things that they did not like about the game of baseball. Maybe if they were commissioner one day they would change it. But anyway, that's all coming up Friday, tomorrow, 6 o'clock right here on AT Sportsnet. TK.
All right, Julia, seventh inning stretch time at Minute Maid Park, deep in the heart of Texas, playing in the background. And the new pitcher for the White Sox is the right-hander Gregory Infante.
Saw Infante throw 10 pitches yesterday. It was a fastball in the mid-90s. Slider, curveball, changeup, making that 48th appearance for the Chicago White Sox.
See if the Astros can get something rolling here in the seventh inning in this 2-1 game.
Please.
If you are not named Brian McCann, you have not reached base since the second inning. Only a home run by McCann and a walk issued to the Astros catcher. The only two base runners for the Astros since the second. It'll be Marwin, Alex Bregman, and Carlos Beltran. And a breaking ball starts him off with a strike. It's 0-1. Marwin hit a deep fly ball his first time up and also is grounded out. Misses the corner. It's 1-1. Fonte faced Cameron Maben and George Springer in last night's game. Francis Martez warming up in the Astros bullpen. A good, strong top of the seventh inning by Will Harris. Arwin gets under this one. Didn't miss it by a whole lot, but he pops it to right where Garcia puts it away. Gonzalez is the first out of the seventh.
Good pitch to hit.
Arwin knew it. 13 out of 14 retired by this White Sox bullpen. Alex Bregman 1 for 2 with a single in the second inning. White Sox bullpen last 7 games before tonight had an ERA of 7.36, but tonight they have been outstanding. They have thrown 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Pitch misses away to Alex. It's 2-0. Astros trying to keep pace and stay a game and a half behind the Cleveland Indians for the best record in the American League. Hard to keep pace with a team that's 27-1 in their last 28 games. Indians had a day game today in Anaheim. They will play the weekend in Seattle. Inside, ball 4. Bregman draws a 4-pitch walk, and the Astros have the tying run on base. And a lefty, Aaron Bummer, warming up in the bullpen. Sometimes you'll see teams turn Carlos Beltran around. We're meeting at the mound right now. Rick Renteria may be asking his team to stall. And he was. He comes out of the dugout. And they will, in fact, turn Carlos Beltran around, it appears. No signal yet from the White Sox skipper. Tying run on base, Beltran due. Beltran has hit better this year as a left-hand hitter than a right-hand hitter, and they will go to the lefty. We'll come back and tell you about the new White Sox reliever after this. The 7th inning, the most popular way to follow the Astros postseason push is MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Astros finally have a base runner. They haven't had many since the 2nd inning, as the new pitcher to face Carlos Beltran will be the lefty Aaron Bummer.
Fastball, slider, changeup from Aaron, averaging 93 miles an hour on that fastball. Pitched a couple of days ago here in Houston, went a 1/3 of an inning through 3 pitches. Lefty specialist turning the switch, hitting Carlos Beltran over to the right-hand side.
Beltran with just 1 of his 14 home runs hitting right-handed this year. Astros would just take an extra base hit. Carlos coming into tonight tied on the all-time extra base hit list with Cal Ripken Jr. with 1,078. Tied for 24th in Major League Baseball history. Takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Carlos is flied out and grounded out. Batting right-hander for the first time tonight. One high in the air, but foul. 1-1 the count. Beltran will appear in his 2nd postseason as an Astro. 13 years separating the appearances. He started in the 04 postseason and now getting a chance as the veteran in 2017. Upstairs, 2-1.
Carlos played in that game against the Houston Astros in New York when he was a part of the Yankees in that American League wild card game.
Catches the corner, 2-2. No veteran love there.
It's a tough zone. Need you to protect that pitch right off your kneecap.
Carlos usually doesn't say much at the plate, but he was not happy with that 2-1 pitch that was called a strike.
As a hitter, those pitches on the inside, you can watch them go, and you'll look down in between your arms. If you see space between the baseball and home plate, it usually tells you it's a ball.
Bummer.
What?
Bummer turns 24 tonight. Happy birthday to Bummer. Blummer.
Sorry. Couldn't help it.
Well, speed delivery there. Gets him on the slider. Strikeout for Aaron Bummer, and there's 2 away. A lot of birthdays in this series. Ken Giles last night. George Springer game 1. Aaron Bummer tonight. Tomorrow will be Carlos Correa's birthday. Here's Yuli Gurriel.
To look back in history 9 months previous to this date or this week and see what was going on.
0-1 the count.
On a shelter in place 9 months ago.
Top foul, it's 0-2. Well, a little bit beyond New Year's Eve. Yuli 1 for 2 tonight. Has that average sitting at 299. One and 2. Astros this year have won 13 games when trailing after 6 innings. Really doesn't offer. It's 2-2. They also have 8 wins when trailing after 7. Another good AB by Yuli, battling at 2-2.
Yuli gets a majority of his ABs against right-handed pitching. He's hitting .313 against right-handed pitchers, only .261 against left-handed pitchers.
In the dirt. Count has run full. Head start at first base for Alex Bregman. That was dangerous earlier in this game.
Yeah, it was. You want to make real sure this left-handed pitcher's going home.
He got picked off second earlier on a 3-2 two-out situation. Meeting at the mound. Between Bummer and the catcher, Kevin Smith. Fans getting into it. Ewing rips one into the crowd. Everybody always concerned with line drives into the crowd, even more so with the recent events at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, man.
Minute Maid Park, one of those stadiums, one of those ballparks where the netting has been extended beyond the dugout. That one just went past the edge of the dugout into the crowd. And we'll see almost every Major League stadium soon have those nets extended beyond where they are in most stadiums now. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Gurriel goes down swinging. So Bummer comes out and strikes out Beltran and Gurriel, and we are through 7 in a 2-1 game. Sox scoring 2 runs, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and that has held up so far. Brian McCann has accounted for the Astros' only run with a solo home run in the bottom half of the third inning. We head to the 8th, and Francis Martes will come on out of the bullpen.
Numbers on Francis on the season, 5.84. Got roughed up last time out. Did not record an out. 4 hits, 4 earned runs. Also had a walk through 17 pitches, giving up those 4 earned runs for Frankie Tuesday, pitching on a Thursday.
Good inning by Will Harris, a 1-2-3-7. Dallas Keuchel only allowed 1 hit in his last 3 2/3 innings. Actually, in his last 4 innings, he faced the minimum after allowing that walk to Avisail Garcia. Then he got a double play that scored the run that made it 2-0. The rest of the way, only 1 more hit. So not many threats for either side since the early part of this game. Martes will face Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, and Jose Abreu. Starts him off with a fastball for a strike at 95. Anderson 0 for 3 tonight. Grounding out, striking out, and lining out to left. One on the count. Only 8 hits combined and 3 runs total. The series has not seen a ton of offense for either side. Four runs combined on Tuesday, 7 runs combined last night. 2-2 the count. Oh, Martes knows the deal. He knows there's probably just 1 spot available in that bullpen for the postseason. We showed you the 6 that we think are pretty much locks to pitch in October. That final spot could be Martes, could be one of the starters that's not part of the rotation for the playoffs. Francis had a tough outing last time. Like to have a nice bounce back performance here. Fouled back, stays 3-2.
Saw Raymeen Gutwan have one of those bounce back outings. He got thrashed a little bit in Oakland along with everybody else, then bounced back pitching against the Angels, going an inning, getting 2 punch outs. It's part of the learning curve for some of these young guys. You got to remember, Francis only 21 years old.
In the air to center. Springer all the way back, still going back, looking up, and that ball's gone. Tim Anderson, the straightaway center field, hits his 17th home run of the year as he takes a 3-2 pitch out for a 3-1 lead.
Good pitch to hit. He's down out over the plate. Credit Tim Anderson for going down and getting it.
Seventh home run allowed by Martez on the season, and now he faces Moncada. Called strike. Francis ahead 0-2. Foul tip caught by McCann. That's the strikeout for Francis Martez. Mentioned his age, his strikeout rate at his age, the best in franchise history, other than J.R. Richard in 1971. Now it's time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. Through August 25th, the Dodgers were by far the best team in baseball. Things have changed since.
Play well enough to make up 18 games in 3 weeks. It's pretty incredible.
It's hard to believe, but the two teams have gone in absolute opposite directions. Dodgers salvaging a game today in that 4-game series in Philly, while Cleveland completed the sweep against the Angels in Anaheim. The best record in baseball still up for grabs. Dodgers 97-56. The Indians 1 game back at 96-57. The Astros need a comeback tonight to win their 94th of the year. Then you've got the Washington Nationals, who have 92 wins. And it's important not just because you want the 1 seed in the American League, but National League records matter too, because this year the World Series home field advantage will go to the team with the best record. Right now, if it was Nationals and Astros in the battle of the ballpark of the Palm Beaches, the Astros would be the host team. But if it was Astros-Dodgers, the Dodgers would have home field advantage. As it sits right now, plenty of baseball left tonight, plus another 10 games. 3-1 the count to Jose Abreu. That ball's hit to deep center field. Springer going back on this one, and he stops on the track and makes the play 400 feet from home plate. Abreu allowed out for the second out of the inning.
Got in on him a little bit, tied him up. George was on a dead sprint back there, making sure he got back in plenty of time to make that catch.
That'll bring up Avisaíl Garcia. 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. 24,283 tonight watching the finale of this White Sox Astros series. No more AL Central teams on the schedule for Houston.
Thank goodness.
Ground ball slowly hit to Correa, and Garcia, who can get down the line, thrown out by Estrada. So an opening home run by Tim Anderson makes it a 3-1 game. Eighth inning, White Sox leading the Astros 3-1. Aaron Bummer came on to strike out the last two batters he faced. In the seventh inning, the Astros do have a pinch hitter on deck. Brian McCann due to lead off. Instead, it's Evan Gattis who has grabbed the bat. We'll see if that means Rick Renteria will change pitchers. And yes, here he comes. The Bummer won't throw a pitch in this inning after warming up, with Gattis announced as a pinch hitter. We'll tell you about the new White Sox reliever when we come back.
Trying to get this eighth inning started, but Rick Renteria had other ideas, bringing in Danny Farquhar out of the bullpen when he heard the announcement of Evan Gattis pinch hitting for Brian McCann. Danny Farquhar on the season between Tampa and the Chicago White Sox has 48 appearances, thrown in 45 2/3 innings. He is also an ex-Seattle Mariner, so these Astros have seen him before. Comes at you with a fastball, 93 miles an hour, backs it up with a changeup and a curveball. Seen him in this series. Through an inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run.
So far, the Johnny Holstaff day has worked out for Rick Renteria. He has gone to his bullpen extensively after Chris Bolstad pitched 4 innings of baseball. He has since used 5 other relievers since the 5th. Evan Gattis taking a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Gattis pinch hitting for Brian McCann. And then back to the top of the order. Astros down 2 in the bottom half of the 8th. Gattis with a swing and a foul tip. Gattis has done well this year as a pinch hitter. 2 for 5 and 5 runs batted in. Had a bases clearing double in a pinch hit at bat against the Mariners earlier this year. Mariners are down 2-0 in their game to Texas early as they play in the 3rd. If the Rangers win, they not only sweep the Mariners, they get back to 500. And in the process, they will be tied with the Angels. The Angels are now 2.5 games behind Minnesota in the wild card race because Minnesota won tonight in Detroit 12-1. On the ground, foul. Farquhar gets Gaddis for the first out of the 8th. 3 straight strikeouts for White Sox pitching. Beltran and Gurriel to end the 7th, and now Gaddis to start the 8th. Back to the top of the order, George Springer looking for his first hit of the night. George just 1 for 11 in this series. Helmet comes off in the first swing. It's 0-1. George looking for his first hit against Farquhar. He's 0 for 7. Has walked 3 times. On the ground towards short. Anderson. And there's 2 away.
Hasn't been the best night for George. All 4 of his outs coming on the ground ball. An amazing and shocking turn of events. Rick Renteria has somebody up in the bullpen.
George has been an equal opportunity ground ball guy today, though. Each person on the infield has
made the rounds.
Yeah. First, short, second, third. Here's Josh Reddick. It's not like many of the Astros have done much tonight. Just 2 walks since the Brian McCann home run to lead off the 3rd. The Astros have 3 hits on the night.
Against almost everybody the White Sox have to offer.
Volstad for 4. Chase Fry pitched to 1 batter, did not record an out. Mike Pelfrey got 4 outs. Gregory Infante got an out. Aaron Bummer got a couple of outs, and now Danny Farquhar has the first 2 outs of the 8th inning.
Yeah, it's the baseball.
2-0 the count. Well, Josh Reddick, maybe his last shot to keep his home hitting streak alive. That's on the corner. It's 2-1. Josh already has a career high in hits and extra base hits. 149 hits and 50 extra base hits. Now it's 3-1. Stays 3-2 on Josh Reddick.
Farquhar against left-handed hitters, basically 50% fastball, 40% changeup.
A changeup on the 3-1 pitch. Into left field, hanging up there for Delmonico. Throws him a changeup there to record the final out. So 1-2-3 inning for Farquhar. We head to the 9th. It is 3-1 White Sox. Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Toyota. Let's go places. The elusive foul ball down the line.
Finally, Nolan picks it up.
A 3-1 game. Not a lot of offense for either side. Taking over for the Astros here in the 9th is a guy who pitched against the Astros as a member of the White Sox earlier this year, Tyler Clippard.
Yeah, Tyler, one of those guys throughout the big leagues who could find himself pitching against one of his former teams quite a bit. 63rd appearance on the season. Last time we saw him was out in Anaheim, which is close to LA, against the Angels. Threw 8 pitches, gave up a pitch that went into the bullpen off Justin Upton's bat.
Facing his former team, Kevin Smith, Tyler Saladino, and Willie Garcia in the ninth. When the White Sox swept the Astros up at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Clippard picked up a save in one of those games, and he was the only White Sox pitcher on that roster that had a save at that point. They had made moves at the deadline, traded away their closers, and then Clippard ended up being moved to the Astros. Now they have a guy, Juan Minaya, who has 4 saves, and that's who we'll see in the 9th inning of this game. But Clippard showed up with 1 save as a Yankee, ended up getting a save or 2 with the White Sox, and then came to Houston and picked up a save for his 3rd team this year, ahead of his former battery mate Kevin Smith, 1 and 2. Smith is 2 for 3 tonight. One time he was retired. It was a double play with the bases loaded and a run scored. Up and in on that changeup. It's 2 and 2. Smith hanging in there at 2 and 2. Smith's put up some good at bats in this season against the Astros, and he's hit overall over .310 in his last 57 games. Last year, Clippard split time between the Diamondbacks and the Yankees, appeared in 69 games. Prior to that, the 2015 season, split time between the Mets and the A's, and appeared in 69 games. Previous 5 seasons, he had appeared in at least 70 ball games. This is his 63rd appearance this year. Up in the air on the infield. Clippard being called off by Alex Bregman. And there's 1 out. Gilmer Sanchez will bat for Tyler Saladino. Looking ahead to the Astros in the bottom half of the 9th inning, they will have Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and Marwin Gonzalez. Clippard had appeared in 40 games as a Yankee and 11 each for the Astros and the White Sox before tonight. Sanchez was the leadoff hitter in the first 2 games of this series. Reached base a couple of times last night. The double and a walk and a run scored. Also drove in a run. We mentioned this is the last game the Astros will play against the AL Central, and that is good news. They have not fared well against this division. If they lose tonight, they will be 15-17 as a final mark against the AL Central. 20 games over within their division, 10 games over in interleague play. 18-12 so far against the East. In the right field, Reddick on the run, 2 away. Cleveland a big part of that losing record against the Central. Kansas City also had a winning record against the Astros, and if the White Sox win tonight, they will end up with a winning record against Houston.
It's pretty amazing. That was early on against a Kansas City team that really stumbled out of the blocks.
Kansas City never quite got all the way back there. They are still looking at the wild card picture, but running out of time. They did pick up a 1-0 shutout victory today in Toronto. But the Royals, as you see, still 3.5 games back, and a couple of teams between them and Minnesota for the second wild card. Willie Garcia 1 for 3 in his second start coming back from the DL. Changeup floats in there for a strike. 6 innings for Dallas Keuchel, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, an inning for Will Harris, a perfect 7. Leadoff home run allowed by Francis Martes. Then he retired the next 3, and now Clippard getting the first 2 and a 2-2 count on Garcia. Only 2 hits for the White Sox since the 3rd inning. The Astros don't have any hits since the 3rd inning. Three and 2 the count.
Not going to lie, it hasn't been an overly interesting ball game.
Just when you say that, they almost foul one back to us. That would have been interesting.
That would have been. Not that lucky.
Yeah, not 2 hits since the 3rd inning.
This Astros offense has been really good on this homestand and just sputtering right now.
Yeah, this series has not seen a lot of offense. It's been a pitcher-dominated series. That one's fouled. Gaddis gives it a look. Gaddis stayed in the game after he pinch hit for Brian McCann. Second straight game we've seen a new catcher coming in the 9th inning. Last night it was Juan Centeno. There is a strikeout. Foul tip caught by Evan Gaddis. And we will head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Astros need 2, and they have Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa leading the charge. This is home run Altuve. Altuve in the right center field. Pretty well hit. Altuve the other way, and that's going to be a base hit. Jose Altuve leading off the bottom half of the 9th inning. Astros need at least 1 base runner to bring the tying run to the plate, trailing 3-1. Looking for their first hit since the Brian McCann home run to lead off the 3rd inning. And they'll face another reliever for the Chicago White Sox. Their closer now, Juan Minaya.
35 game, 4-1 Manaea. Now working out of that closing situation for Rick Renteria. Saw him yesterday going inning. Had a punch out. Fastball around 94 miles an hour. Slider, curveball, and a changeup. Throws that changeup almost 90 miles an hour.
Well, not a lot for the home team to cheer about tonight.
No, not yet.
See if they can get the fans going here. Fans had an MVP chant going earlier for Altuve. Altuve, Correa, Marwin Gonzalez. Called strike to start the at-bat. Altuve walked his first time up and has struck out a couple of times. Ball stays in. It's 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. Manaea does walk one every 2 innings. And the Astros wouldn't mind seeing a leadoff base runner here. Tying run to the plate as Altuve draws a walk. Now with one swing of the bat, Carlos Correa can tie this game up. Correa, 1 home run since coming back off the DL and 65 at bats. Takes a strike. Fastball at 94.
Just takes one.
On the hands, Anderson charges, flips to second, 1. Safe at first is Correa. They get Altuve, but Correa beat the relay throw.
Tim Anderson really didn't put himself in a good position to make that flip a little bit easier for Moncada to turn. Kind of rushed it by charging through it, and that was a tough flip. Ball not hit terribly slow, but when you come to the inside part of the diamond, it makes it a little bit tougher flip back across your body.
Marwin takes a strike. Manaea has allowed 7 home runs this year. 5 of the 7 to left-hand hitters and 53 at bats. Ahead of Gonzalez, 0-2.
Good changeup. Bottom dropped out of it.
Gonzalez represents the tying run at home plate. 22 home runs on the season. 17 of those as a left-hand hitter. 5 in the Astros lineup tonight are 0 for 16. Altuve drew a couple of walks. Reddick drew a walk. But no hits in the first 5 hitters. And that continues as Marwin goes down swinging. 2 outs in the ninth. And the Astros down to their final shot.
His changeup, that pitch accident a little more like a split from Anaya. Getting a punch out of Marwin.
It'll be up to Alex Bregman to keep this thing alive. He has singled and walked 1 for 2. Bregman single in the second, a Yuli Gurriel single in the second, and a Brian McCann home run in the third. The only 3 hits for the Astros tonight. Carson Fulmer started this game, lasted 3 batters, and the White Sox trying to get 8 2/3 innings out of their bullpen. 7th reliever used by Rick Renteria. Chris Volstad would be in line to be the winning pitcher with those 4 innings of 1-run baseball. He has not had a win in the major leagues in over 5 years. Came here in 2012 as a member of the Cubs against the Astros on August the 10th. Two and 1 to Bregman. He gets on. Carlos Beltran waits on deck. In the dirt, 3 and 1. Bregman showing patience. Bregman has faced Manaea 1 other time in his career. Held up, no, he went around. 3 and 2.
Good call. Oh, getting ready to rage on that fastball. Saw a slider and couldn't hold up.
Inside, backs him off the plate. That's ball 4. So the tying run is at first base. The Astros have 2 on with 2 outs. And Carlos Beltran will bat.
Lucky that pitch was a slider coming right through his nose.
Earlier in this game, Beltran's Yankees teammate Brian McCann hit his 15th home run of the year. Beltran is sitting at 14 home runs. There is no one warming up in the bullpen, so this is simply a visit from the pitching coach. Don Cooper going out to chat with his closer.
Longtime pitching coach Don Cooper for the Chicago White Sox.
The fans were not yelling "Coo."
Yeah, they changed that C for another letter. Maybe the previous one in the alphabet.
Beltran has never faced Manaea before. Carlos looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. 13 of his 14 home runs are left-handed this year. And the mound visit is over. Outside, ball one. There's a strike. Carlos, 435 career home runs. 6 of them have resulted in walk-off victories. 2-1.
Just needed to hang that slider.
Misses the corner. It's 3-1.
I'm not sure what he's wishing for right there. That was a good foot outside.
Yuli Gurriel waits on deck if Beltran reaches. Carlos could get a pitch to drive here. How's it back? Beltran checks with Sean Barber to see if that was a strike.
Felt initially off out of the hand that I thought it was a pitch off the plate outside, but I think Carlos is looking out over the plate. Chased a little bit, trying to do something big right here.
On the ground, Moncada sliding play, takes his time and retires Beltran to end the game. The young rookie makes the play on the backhand to end this game and give the White Sox a victory in this series as they win the series against the Astros 4-2 with a 3-1 win tonight.
Time now for our player of the game, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Brian McCann with the McCann ball early. That would prove to be the only run for the Houston Astros. That bomb back in the 3rd inning off of Volstad. Also had a walk, but a perfect evening in the sense of that offensive scorecard for Brian McCann.
So not a lot of offense tonight for the team that scores the most runs in baseball. The Astros limited to 3 hits in a run. The White Sox win the finale of this series. We'll tell you more about this one with the post-game show right around the corner.